Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath commentary. Today we've got a very long-awaited video commentary between bike-RUsh+ownz and Unleashed UA. Now, this game is fairly old. I mean, it's been on the replay system for around, I'd say 3 months or so. It was uploaded in November, so I'm not sure if I can count. Actually, no, that's 2 months. Exactly, there we go. So, no one's decided to VOD it, so I decided to go ahead and VOD this one here, as it does have a considerable sum of wubs. I mean, it has like 29 at this current time of speaking. So it is quite a popular replay. You may have already seen it, but I do think it deserves a VOD. I personally have seen it myself. I have trouble recalling all of the events that happened within this game, but that kind of helps me to not spoil anything if you haven't already seen it. So we have bike-RUsh+ownz in his classic red, playing in the left. He went with random, so let me just go revise this. Okay, we have Unleashed UA. He went for random, and he is in the right, while bike-RUsh+ownz is going to go for his traditional black hand. Of course, if he wants to win, he'll just go for black hand for an all-in rush. And Unleashed UA losing an early engineer. That is going to be really hurting Unleashed. $500 down the drain. Plus the scouting squads that were escorting it there must have gotten destroyed by the Cabal squad. Of course, the Cabal squads, they just don't die. Simple, isn't it? And bike-RUsh+ownz is going to scout. He's going to scout with these Cabals and also take control of both of the Tiberium spikes. And it looks like he's dropped a booby trap on that Tiberium spike. So if Unleashed UA will capture them in the near future, that spike will instantly be detonated and destroyed. Anyways, bike-RUsh+ownz is going to be expanding 2 refineries, so no rush in question. Of course, it's difficult to rush when you're taking the Tiberium spikes, unless he went for 1 spike in the south. What? That engineer looks like it's idle. bike-RUsh+ownz should quickly amend that, as he could have captured that spike a while ago. But that kind of makes up for Unleashed's engineer that got sniped in the start of the game. Unleashed UA expanding to the middle green field. Now this is quite unorthodox. Never usually see players go to this field, as I mentioned in my previous video. And the reason for that is fairly unknown. I mean, it's a bit more risky, sure it is, but it pays off immensely if you can hold control of it until you've mined a considerable amount of the field. bike-RUsh+ownz is going to be sending a harvester to the blue Tiberium. We'll be placing down his 3rd refinery momentarily. Unleashed UA, he's got a building queue, he's going to drop it now. It's a refinery. Now, I'm not sure what happened in this game, but bike-RUsh+ownz, he made such an unbelievable comeback, if I remember rightly. So I hope that doesn't spoil anything. So bike-RUsh+ownz is going to be going for the secret shrine for that Black Disciples upgrade. Basically adds a black hand trooper to your squads, increases the combat effectiveness of them, as you see there. So mainly used as a meat shield to protect the more weaker squad members. Anyways, bike-RUsh+ownz is going to be flaming down this Tiberium spike with one of his Cabal squads that's currently garrisoned in this garrisonable structure, but the watchtower will take those out shortly. Predators and APCs for Unleashed UA. His top priority at the moment would be AP ammo, and there we go, dropping the comm center and immediately going for AP ammo because he needs that upgrade against the Black Hand man spam, as it's just so imber powerful. I don't even know why it's illegal to have Black Hand use this infantry spam, as it's so overpowered. It's one of the most overpowered things in the game. Unleashed UA going for the air. So I don't know why he used the Orca Strike. Why did he use the Orca Strike? As he is just giving away the fact that he has got an airfield by using that. So it's kind of dumb. But I guess he needed to scout what bike-RUsh is doing. Again, he could have used a Pitbull and kept his tech a secret. So one refinery here for Unleashed UA. He's going to be spamming APCs, and that is the correct counter against bike-RUsh+ownz man spam. He's slowly pumping out these rockets. He's only got one hand of nod, so he's not going heavy macro rocket spam. Still in possession of the spikes, so Unleashed's not going for the recapturing the Tiberium spikes at all just yet. Usually he likes to capture those really fast. I'm not sure what kind of concave this is, because exactly there is none. bike-RUsh+ownz has just got his rockets in a huge line formation. They're just going to get picked off one by one. There we go. Those rockets just did not stand a chance against those APCs, just steamrolling straight through them. And bike-RUsh+ownz, that is not a very good result for him. The outcome was not in bike-RUsh+ownz favor. Unleashed UA has a decent sum of pitbulls remaining, so he could use those now to maybe do some harassment on bike-RUsh+ownz economy. Flame tank for bike-RUsh+ownz, he needs to do something with these flame tanks, as he's lost a considerable chunk of his army. He'll probably be soon out-ecoed by Unleashed, since he is in the middle field here. But oh no, flame tanks coming in. Will they destroy this war factory? The war factory goes down. He needs to destroy a ref, at least destroy a ref, bike-RUsh+ownz. But those towers there, oh, they're causing so much damage to the flame tanks, and the flame tanks. Will they take out this ref? This is gonna be so close. Oh, that's so real close. He could have destroyed that refinery, I reckon. But what's this? A beacon. And we all know what that is. If you're playing against Black Hand, it can't be a mine drop, so it's going to be an Armageddon bomber. And Tiberium Vein detonation does not reach its target. Getting destroyed before dropping its bombs, which is unfortunate. That's $3,500 down the drain for bike-RUsh+ownz, and that tip chem plant is immediately sold. He has no more support powers that can help him out of this situation. There is more, and there is more APCs coming in. Will they take out this rocket spam? I think they will. And bike-RUsh+ownz, how is he gonna get himself out of this? He does have his tier 3, so he can place shredder turrets, those super powerful charged particle beam shredder turrets, which the Black Hand players seem to love spamming, and they're so inexpensive. Scorps for bike-RUsh+ownz, it's a good transition, but he did not have many of them, so going to be easily overwhelmed by APCs, where the APCs would probably usually die fairly quickly to the Scorpions. And wow, look at these cabals just shredding those APCs. No pun intended. Those shredder turrets are so decent against these light vehicles. They're as much an anti-vehicle defense as they are anti-infantry, which is kind of unusual. They should really change the description to strong versus infantry and vehicles, but unfortunately, no, they didn't. There's a lot of things that EA could have done with this, but did not have the development cycle to kind of fulfill all those dreams of the community. hammerheads or barely managing to escape those SAM turrets. There is 2 SAM turrets here, so he is well defended at the moment against aircraft. Unleashed, however, has expanded to his safe Tiberium field, and this is what I'm talking about. Unleashed UA has got a massive advantage now as his Tiberium field is full. He's got a full Tiberium field here and a half full field here, so there's no way that he could possibly lose against bike-RUsh+ownz if bike-RUsh+ownz has no Tiberium left. The only Tiberium that bike-RUsh+ownz could even have a hope of getting is this blue tib, which it's undefended, sure it is, but he has to watch out for the hammerheads, and the hammerheads are a real threat to the harvesters. MCV going to be making its move. I'm assuming it's going to be going for the blue tip, and this is exactly what I was talking about. There we go, the hammerheads are coming in, they're going to destroy these harvesters. One harvester going down, but the bikes, those hammerheads are fairly intimidated of attack bikes, and these attack bikes with tip core do immense damage to aircraft. So bike-RUsh+ownz going to be leeching some blue Tiberium, much needed Tiberium for bike-RUsh+ownz, as he is pretty much done for at the moment. That's how it looks. And oh, a Redeemer engineering facility? Really? Oh, he's got his Redeemer. I didn't see this. So he's got this Redeemer. He's got tip core. He's got tip core and a Redeemer, so he isn't doing too bad actually. And APCs aren't really the ideal choice against attack bikes, but neither are attack bikes, as attack bikes got hardly any armor, but the DPS of the attack bikes is so great that those APCs might not stand a chance. There we go. These APCs are just getting sniped down so quickly. Even placing down a minefield, but those attack bikes can detect stealth, so that's not too much of a problem for bike-RUsh+ownz. Losing hardly any bikes in the process. Unleashed, unleashed, unleashed. What is your tactic now? You've got hammerheads shooting at the Redeemer. You should really be focusing down the bikes. Those bikes are causing so much pain to your hammerheads, and there is a heroic bike in there somewhere. Where's that heroic bike? And oh man, heroic bike goes down, and look at all that debris and destruction. So many attack bikes survive, and all those hammerheads get destroyed. So Unleashed UA all of a sudden looking to be... he's looking to be in a very bad position here. He has to do something to destroy this Redeemer or force it back to retreat, but it doesn't look like he has anything here. He should definitely use the towers, the watch towers, to kill the attack bikes. And where's this Redeemer? This Redeemer is on half health, and it's got 2 flamethrowers in it, which makes it even more potent than flame tanks. So powerful, this Redeemer. And he's probably got an aggressive stance here, just walking through the base, destroying all the structures in the vicinity of the Redeemer. And what's this? Attack bikes, of course, coming in, and oh no, they're going to be met by Predator tanks of Unleashed and Unleashed, scoring a kill on those bikes. But then now the biggest problem for Unleashed is that this Redeemer is coming in and it's trashing his first expansion. And Spectre artillery for bike-RUsh+ownz, so bike-RUsh+ownz transitioning immensely well here. Unleashed UA not so much, going for hammerheads against tip core. That isn't really the best choice. But I guess when Unleashed UA was making the hammerheads, bike-RUsh+ownz was spamming infantry, so he probably thought that bike-RUsh+ownz would be going heavily on the Black Hand infantry spam. bike-RUsh+ownz can be quite deceptive sometimes in what he does. It is definitely a trait of a pro player, which he is, without a doubt. So this Redeemer, it is on 25% health. He should really go and engage those Predator tanks, as this Redeemer is really... he has to keep that alive, and it's exposing its rear armor here. He does not want to lose that Redeemer. That Redeemer better not go down to Predator tanks. He could have easily destroyed those Predator tanks. Come on, destroy the Predator tanks. It's going to be too late for this Redeemer. And there we go. The Redeemer is going down unnecessarily, but it does go down anyways. I think he could have done a better job in preventing that Redeemer from being destroyed. And here we go. The epic unit of Unleashed UA is already out. Got a rifleman squad garrisoned in it, so he's probably just going to harvest this field. It's going to stop bike-RUsh+ownz from harvesting that, because the Marv has such a big ass gun. It's going to destroy those harvesters in no time. And there we go. Boom! 2 more rockets. Smashes a harvester. So bike-RUsh+ownz, how is he going to come out of this now? He lost his Redeemer, his attack bikes, he has them in very little force. Another one goes down there. Unleashed UA trying to pick off the lower damaged bikes, and there we go, good micro by Unleashed, taking out that attack bike. But two EMP buggies tried to attempt to EMP the Marv, but the Marv is being shelled by the Spectres, which works to Unleashed's benefit by EMPing the Raider buggies. bike-RUsh doing a very smart thing, going around the Marv, EMPing the Marv now. Does he have more buggies queued? There we are, the buggies are coming in, single file, and this Marv is dead. What can I say? And this is really what bike-RUsh+ownz needed to kill this Marv, as he needs to set up shop at this base here. And surprisingly, it's so surprising how bike-RUsh+ownz is doing all this with little to no Tiberium. Amazing, right? Oh man, what's happening here? We've got orcas, not orcas, hammerheads just sniping down those raider buggies and infantry squads. There is a heroic rocket squad for bike-RUsh+ownz. These Spectres are a big problem for Unleashed UA. I don't think ground is a viable option anymore, as shredder turrets can destroy those APCs and the Spectres can shoot them from a far distance. I'd imagine that bike-RUsh+ownz will be queuing a refinery any moment now. Those harvesters are almost dead, isn't he? How many harvesters does he have? He's got 2 refs here. He could possibly sell one of those refs and get some cash. He has a nicely sized army. I mean, he could push into Unleashed space, or maybe not. That's actually a bad idea. Screw that. He's got his Marv. Unleashed just constantly remakes his Marv. From what I've seen of him, his late game mainly revolves around getting his epic unit out over and over again. This may not be true this game, but I sense it will be. What can I say? And there we go, this Redeemer Engineer facility will get sniped down by the hammerheads. Could micro by Unleashed, sending back the wounded hammerheads, which get destroyed by, oh no, tip core. So devastating to hammerheads. Pretty much one volley and those hammerheads are almost down to no health. Which means you shouldn't be building hammerheads anymore. Unless of course you put zone troopers in them and then upgrade the scanner packs, which gives them such an immense range buff. Means your hammerheads can kite almost anything in the game. It's really, really good. Really, really good tactic with the hammerheads. But it requires a lot of micro to pull off successfully. So bike-RUsh+ownz, he needs this Redeemer out. Obviously he needs that now, as he is up against a Marv. And the Marv has 2 rifleman squads and 2 rockets inside of it, so it's fairly potent against infantry and vehicles. It's kind of a balanced Marv, but you would preferably want the zone troopers and engineers, as they will heal the Marv and also give it a considerable better damage per second output. bike-RUsh+ownz shifting his army across the map. He knows that this Marv has to be taken out or his entire tech infrastructure will get destroyed. All of his tech buildings are here, like this tech center. That tech center is an extremely vulnerable position. And this game is still going. Like 10 minutes ago I was talking about how bike-RUsh+ownz had no chance and Unleashed just would have steamrolled over him. But now it's looking like both players are evenly matched, and this Marv, sending his Marv out alone, unsupported, that is an extremely bad idea by Unleashed. Just pointing out some obvious mistakes here. This Marv should not be sent out alone. It should have some APCs or hammerheads to support it. And there, speaking of the Marv support, that Marv was just merely a distraction while those APCs and Predator tanks were taking out the Redeemer Engineer facility. But the Redeemer is here to clean up the rest of these APCs and Predator tanks. There is an elite Predator tank there. Oh, Marv. Those rifleman turrets are causing so much damage to this infantry. And oh my, look at those hammerheads there. He's been training hammerheads all this time. He's got quite a few of them now, which are good against infantry, they're good against specters, so Unleashed UA making a very good army composition against what bike-RUsh+ownz currently does have. Although he has to watch out for the Tib core rockets, which will instantly decimate those hammerheads. That's a nice Tib load, harvested Tib load full of blue Tiberium. That will fuel Unleashed UA's efforts to go hammerheads or rockets. He's going to garrison those hammerheads with rockets, so makes them extremely versatile. They're good against aircraft, they're good against infantry, and they're good against vehicles. And beacons by bike-RUsh+ownz. He spotted that Unleashed UA has a couple forces here. Where is the Redeemer? Yeah, the Redeemer is here. Going to use Rage Generator, and those tanks are just going to blow themselves apart. Quite literally. Spectre Artillery, will they get shot off? Bam! Almost takes out that APC, and that APC is on low health, so it will probably get chased down by the rockets of bike-RUsh+ownz. Where is the Marv of Unleashed? Did he send it back to base for repairs? There it is, getting some repairs up. That's nice work. Hammerheads here, going to be sniping down some Spectres. Is he going to destroy all the Spectres? Oh no, the Spectres of bike-RUsh+ownz are going to get all sniped down by the Hammerheads. That is painful to watch. So no more long-range base sieging units for bike-RUsh+ownz, unfortunately. Unleashed UA does have a good base setup here. No Tiberium, however. He has been leeching blue Tiberium. Got 2 Tiberium spikes still. And of course, he probably attempted to go for this spike, but found it was booby-trapped by bike-RUsh+ownz. And hold on just a second. Oh, what a long game. So, this Redeemer, it's got 2 repair pads in it, which will kind of help against 20 or so hammerheads shooting at it. We'll recover some health in the meantime. Unleashed UA not going to bother to chase it down. I guess if he were to attack it anymore, the hammerheads would probably take some casualties from the Tib core base defenses. Black Hands coming to try to flame down the spike, and the spike is really Unleashed's only source of income at the current time. Those harvesters are extremely vulnerable. Those hammerheads can come in and destroy those harvesters, but he's going for the refinery first, and that is extremely wise to do so, as bike-RUsh+ownz will not have any build radius to place Tib core base defenses. But speaking of Tib core, bike-RUsh+ownz has a Mantis, and those Mantis are upgraded with Tiberium core missiles, and they pretty much instantly destroy hammerheads. I think it's pointless trying to kite them because they're just so good. You can't dodge Mantises like you can with bikes, where the bikes have limited rocket range. Those Mantises are trying to follow the hammerheads, but met with some APCs. I'm expecting a Rage Generator to go off any second now. Those Mantises should stay clear from those APCs, because Unleashed UA will want to destroy those as soon as possible. And oh no, the Marv is empty. The Marv is empty. And look at the size of this field here. Quite a large field, full of Tiberium. And does bike-RUsh+ownz have any more EMP Raider buggies? It doesn't look like it. And this Marv is going to escape. I just know it's going to escape. And there is hammerheads here to support the Marv, but will this EMP buggy come in to disable the Marv? And the Marv is disabled. Another one tries to disable it, and I think it does get its EMP off. Are there any more EMP buggies? Okay, that does help, having a war factory nearby, so he can queue some Raider buggies and constantly EMP this Marv. He does not want that Marv to escape. bike-RUsh+ownz trying his hardest to disable this Marv, and this Marv is going to get destroyed here. And those hammerheads, unfortunately, were not there to save the Marv. There are 2 rocket Mantises who are coming in, and they're going to destroy a couple hammerheads. Luckily, only lost 1 or 2. could have been worse for him. And the Marv is down for Unleashed UA. Unleashed UA, speaking of Unleashed UA, he does have a lot of hammerheads intact. And bike-RUsh+ownz, what's he going to do? He should probably make a push with these units. Although I don't suppose he is under pressure to do so, as bike-RUsh+ownz, he has a lot of Tiberium left. He could just camp here in the meanwhile, set up a good expansion, and then basically out-eco Unleashed, who has no expansion possibilities except this field. I mean, he could make an attempt and move to this field with his MCV, which I suppose is what he should be doing shortly. APC is probably going to be the favorite unit trained by Unleashed, although he has been relying on hammerheads throughout the game. Not the most impressive micro of hammerheads, but he has been using them to some effect. He is definitely taking map control with them. So bike-RUsh+ownz will not have revealed the shroud where those hammerheads are occupying. This man is probably going to be hunting down some hammerheads, and there are no hammerheads here except those 6. Actually, Unleashed hammerheads are sitting underneath the airfield, and this mantis comes along and will destroy the hammerheads. Unleashed UA not paying attention. Those hammerheads are going to get destroyed by the mantis, and will this mantis kill 2? It kills 2 hammerheads. Will he get a third? Will he get a third? 2 rockets go off, and that puts the hammerhead down almost to 0 hit points. Ah, what can I say? bike-RUsh+ownz still in it. Very much so, as he does have a lot of Tiberium left. And this Redeemer will be coming to mop up this force. Rage Generator goes off. I don't think none of the APCs are going to kill each other. No, not at all. Tib Spike's still under Unleashed UA's control. Now, it's unfortunate that Unleashed UA has left the Kane's Wrath community lately. He was a very good player, very good at entertaining people with his good replays. Unfortunately, we will see him no more, as he has other important matters in life to attend with. Well, Surveyor coming out here for Unleashed. He's going to set up an expansion at the green. And those hammerheads there are to prevent bike-RUsh+ownz from scouting and seeing what's up. bike-RUsh+ownz has probably got his intuition that there is probably an expansion down here, as he's heading in that vague direction. The Marv, oh no, the Marv once again flanking for Unleashed, and will he take out this Harvester? Harvester goes down. He has to watch out for the EMP buggies, because those EMP buggies have been the bane of Unleashed UA. You could place minefields down. Minefield goes down. There we go. And the minefields, they do support this Marv. The Raider buggies go down, microing the Raider buggies first, so this Marv can come in and destroy all of the infantry. The infantry are no match for this Marv, but this Marv could get EMP'd once again by the Raider buggy. Unleashed UA trying his hardest to prevent that EMP buggy from coming in. He has to pay all the attention and kill those Raider buggies. Do not waste a single shot on anything else. And will he get this Raider buggy? Yeah, there we go. bike-RUsh+ownz desperately trying to use that EMP buggy effectively. And this Redeemer just getting shot at by hammerheads. 4 rocket hammerheads here. All of them garrisoned with rockets. There isn't even a veteran hammerhead there. The Marv escapes alive, destroying most of bike-RUsh+ownz army. So that was fairly good move by Unleashed. Minefields being placed. That's a very, very good use of the minefields this game. So if I have to credit Unleashed for something, it would be for the use of minefields, which is seldom used in Kane's Wrath. I think a lot of players are just too lazy to use them. They only cost $300 mined, so it's not as though you're breaking the bank. And they can actually kill units more expensive than $300. I mean, even if you kill a rifleman squad, the minefield is paid off for itself. So it's almost like the developers wanted you to use the minefields. There's really no reason why you wouldn't. course, if you want to win against a Black Hand, a faction such as Black Hand, you should really use all the advantages you possibly can to try and balance it. Now the Redeemer does come in snipes, Unleashed Harvesters, and Unleashed UA did not have enough time to mine this Tiberium here, so he'll be struggling for cash, I'd imagine. He's still on 2 Tiberium spikes mined, so he'll be getting a fair amount of cash from those throughout this game. And the Redeemer here, it has no anti-aircraft to support it. I suspect that bike-RUsh+ownz will be making a Mantis. This Mantis is actually wounded, is going to get some repairs first. This Redeemer can probably take out this refinery and escape. This typical bike better be microed. Oh, snipes the hammerhead down, so he must have had that just on a generic attack move, and Unleashed UA not paying attention, letting that bike destroy a hammerhead, which is not good at all. Turning into a very minimalistic game now. Both sides have barely anything. Unleashed UA is just going to save his Marv from being destroyed, repairing it up near to the Reclamator Hub. Now the Reclamator Hub does have a very limited repair radius, so if you go like any further than that green box, the Marv will not receive repairs. So you have to pay attention, because sometimes the War Factory repair drones will not repair the Marv, even though it seems like it can, but it just doesn't. So this refinery here, was it destroyed before, or this is probably a new one? Did Unleashed UA power it down to prevent the harvester from coming out? We'll soon find out if he powers it back up. It's not fenced, unfortunately, so there is nothing there to save it. And there we go, selling off the refinery, getting some cash rebate for that, although it doesn't justify the cost of the refinery, which is $3,000. Now the Tiberium has been regrowing throughout this game, so it's not as dry the map now. There is a lot of Tiberium left that both sides could go and fight for. Using the terrain smartly, bike-RUsh+ownz is escaping the line of sight of these Predator tanks. And those Predator tanks, I don't think they're going to bother to take on the Redeemer, although he could take on the Redeemer. I reckon he could chase this Redeemer down. The Redeemer definitely has to stand and fight against this, or it will get pinned down, much like the last Redeemer that he lost. And yeah, there we go, not making the same mistake this time. Going to use the Redeemer to come in, and this Redeemer, will it survive against these Predator tanks? The EMP buggy comes in, and the EMP buggy EMPs those Predator tanks. This is turning into such a close game. And where's the Marv? The Marv is coming out for Unleashed UA. He will want to intercept this Redeemer before it goes and get some repairs from the War Factory. And oh man, Unleashed UA, you better get that fat ass Marv to the field here, because it's going to have to do some damage for you. Lone Mantis for bike-RUsh+ownz escapes the Marv. Does bike-RUsh+ownz have any hammerheads left? I don't suppose he went for any more hammerheads, and there we go, expanding finally again to this green Tiberium field. So Unleashed UA is he is quite a hard cookie to crack, isn't he? Not going down so easily. Of course, that is what Unleashed UA is known to be, a tough son of a bitch to take down, or something like that. Anyways, APCs and Predator tanks gonna be swiping this, take a swipe at this Redeemer, but the Redeemer, it's a big ass meat shield, so it won't really take so much damage from those Predator APC combo. There is more APCs there. You just have to use those units, APCs and Preds, to support the Marv from being EMP'd. This Marv has to stay online. But will he get an EMP off? Yes, he does, and he EMPs all of the APCs. Oh no, that was a fail. Unleashed. That was probably the worst possible outcome for you. The Redeemer is veteran, so it will do some additional damage to the APCs and Redeemer. I think the Redeemer would usually two-shot the APCs, but once it's veteran, it kind of does one-shot those units, such as the Preds and the APCs. They do get one-shotted by the Redeemer, which makes it considerably more effective. Anyways, I should be really talking about this battle here. We've got this Redeemer going to destroy this map. This map is once again going to be destroyed by Unleashed bike-RUsh+'s Redeemer. Now, I don't really agree with Unleashed's decision to continually go for his epic unit. I mean, obviously, this is not a queue for an epic unit right now. He's facing an elite Redeemer. Let me just repeat that. He is facing an elite Redeemer. And what is he doing? He is making another Marv. Of all the things he could have trained, it's another Marv. What I'd strongly suggest is that he goes for Hammerheads. Why not go for Hammerheads? Because it looks like bike-RUsh+ownz has sold his MCV. I forgot to say this, but he did sell his MCV, so he cannot place SAM base defenses. So if Unleashed UA makes Hammerheads, he pretty much wins the game. And the Redeemer, it can't shoot aircraft. He doesn't have an operations center, so he can't go for Vantas. And the bikes, they do get sniped pretty effectively by the Hammerheads. So he should really be cancelling this Marv and going for Zone Trooper Hammerheads, I'd say. Strongly recommend. That would be the best possible counter at the current time. And there's the Marv. It's pretty useless against an elite Redeemer, to be honest. The Redeemer is just way too powerful for this Marv to take down. As you can see, it's going to be fairly useless here. I don't know why bike-RUsh+ownz is retreating. There is really nothing here except a Marv with no zone troopers inside of it. He would need at least 4 zone troopers to make that even remotely good against the elite Redeemer. Will he destroy these Hammerheads? And yeah, there we go. Unleashed UA actually doing Hammerheads now, so... But I think the Marv was a waste of money, to be honest. Still controls one spike, although bike-RUsh+ownz has stolen his natural Tyrium's bike, selling off those structures. That's a good move. That Redeemer has to be prevented from going to heroic at all costs. So Unleashed UA not completely out of it just yet. He may stand a chance against this elite Redeemer. bike-RUsh+ownz only has 2 free structures remaining, so I'd say that's his weakness. He doesn't have much of a base, so he could probably go in there and destroy the remaining structures instead of trying to engage the Redeemer. And oh no, Unleashed susceptibility to EMP is ridiculous this game. Absolutely ridiculous. He's been getting his Marv is being EMP'd way too many times. There is just no units to accompany this Marv and help it from being such a douchebag and going into those EMP buggies. bike-RUsh+ownz is letting that Rifleman squad kill him. Actually, that Rifleman squad isn't doing too bad, is it? Killing 3 squads of rockets. Hammerheads are the unit of choice for Unleashed UA. He could go straight into the base right now. He may not actually know that Unleashed UA, bike-RUsh+ownz, sorry, has only a handful of units at his main base, and there is Predator tanks here. They could take out the bikes, and the bikes go in. Send in the Hammerheads right now and destroy the remaining structures of bike-RUsh+ownz. Oh no. It's very easy for me to criticize Unleashed UA's mistakes in this game, as he could have won it so many times. I have to be perfectly honest, but he's just screwed up time and time again. All credit is due to bike-RUsh though for surviving against such overwhelming odds. You would never thought that it would even stand a chance against Unleashed UA if he had 3 Tiberium fields against his mere 2 fields. Zone Trooper Hammerhead for Unleashed UA. I'm not sure why he's de-garrisoning the Zone Troopers. It's fairly ineffective against the units such as the attack bike. Actually, the attack bike does not have sufficient range to take on the Zone Troopers, so he could exploit that and just kite with his Hammerheads all day, all night. Those bikes have nothing really on the Hammerheads. I hope that Unleashed is aware that he does have 1 structure remaining, 2 structures remaining. could be a base race, or maybe it could not be a base race. Depends. It all depends on Unleashed UA's decision making. I'm not sure why he's going down here. Perhaps he thinks that bike-RUsh+ownz still has an MCV, but he's expanded to somewhere else. Harvester going down. That's a nice experience for that Redeemer. It will probably go heroic any moment now. And once again, another Marv. Of all things in the game, he just went for another Marv. Face palm, face palm. Sigh. Zone troopers. Yeah, right. Okay, so he does have one zone trooper squad. Hammerheads are the only way for him to even stand a chance against killing the Redeemer. bike-RUsh+ownz is just going to spam bikes. He knows that he can just spam these bikes. They have tip core missiles, and tip core missiles do a lot of damage to aircraft. And there we go, the Marv is out. Once again, this is like the 4th Marv of Unleashed UA. If we wanted to take anything away from Unleashed UA this game, it would be his tunnel vision to keep going for Marvs. It's not the answer, I'm sorry, but it's just not. And the bikes, he should not be intimidated by the bikes, because he has a Marv there. But I think it's just, there's just too many bikes for Unleashed now to take down. He's going to need towers. There we go, tower defense. No pun intended. Also, he has no Tiberium. It looks as though he has no harvesters. bike-RUsh+ownz is just going to win this with 2 structures remaining. So very, very, very well played by bike-RUsh+ownz this game. It may not actually be Unleashed mistakes in the end. He may be just so confused as to what bike-RUsh is doing. I mean, obviously, if Unleashed, a player of Unleashed caliber knew that bike-RUsh+ownz had 2 structures remaining, he would not go for the Redeemer. That's just plain fact, isn't it? He would probably go for like a man spam or something. I mean, I have to agree, a man spam would probably be a very, very, very good choice. Because without MCVs, you can't place base defenses. He has to make the micro really count with those hammerheads, though. And oh dear, bike-RUsh+ownz. What are you waiting for, buddy? You're just going to go for more harvesters, or even another MCV. You're going to rebuild that MCV. And yeah, that's just icing on the cake. He's got his MCV back up. So he will be able to place defenses if Unleashed UA were to attack with hammerheads. Where is the Redeemer? The Redeemer is heading back to base for some repairs. Now I can't really argue. bike-RUsh+ownz is wanting to win this game. He's not going to stupidly lose his hammerheads. Not hammerheads, his bikes. So he's taking all the precautions necessary to ensure that he does win. Splitting up his bikes. He's probably going to go for Unleashed Marv. Once again, this is like the 5th Marv that will be destroyed. And the Redeemer on its own can take on the Marv and destroy it. And oh no, tries to EMP the Marv, but the Marv, yeah, there we go. After 4 attempts, gets EMP'd. Sometimes those radar buggies can be quite risky to use. You don't want to premature EMP all of them, or else it's completely fail. It's kind of a hit and miss unit. Very micro intensive. Again, if you're a good micro player, those EMP buggies will be used fairly effectively. And this is all over for Unleashed UA. He's lost his hammerheads. The hammerheads went down. The Marv is down. The only thing he has left is a Marv, I'm afraid. And he does expand to his natural Tiberium field, so still this Unleashed UA thinks he has a chance, and the Redeemer now is heroic. Heroic Redeemer for bike-RUsh+ownz. And the remaining structures of Unleashed will get destroyed. But let's just watch how quickly this Redeemer takes on the Marv as it pops out from the War Factory. He may not even have enough income or resources to take out this Marv. And yeah, there we go. This Reclamator hub is going down. There we go. Unleashed UA. Still not giving up. Fight to the last man. Of course, he may have a chance if he were to disconnect from the game. No, I'm just kidding there. Unleashed UA would never disconnect from an online game. He is regarded to be one of the most fair players in the community. So Unleashed UA going to be setting up shop at his expansion here. bike-RUsh+ownz is setting up his economy, so he does have 2 harvesters throughout. I mean, he's had 2 harvesters, one refinery for like 20 minutes, which is absolutely ludicrous. He pinged the harvester there. So bike-RUsh+ownz just doing like a victory dance. He knows that he's won this game. Packing up his MCV. I don't think, why should he have the need to expand if there is a huge Tiberium field there? Obviously he should set up his Tiberium field, his expansion, with another refinery at least. And Unleashed UA finally came to his senses. He has been defeated in this epic game between bike-RUsh+ownz and Unleashed UA. A very, very long-awaited video. I'm pleased to deliver it in this year of 2013. So let's go through the stats now. We've got bike-RUsh+ownz fairly up and down. That was where he lost his entire rocket army because he had it in such a stupid formation. They got picked off so easily by Unleashed APCs, which would have otherwise had a close engagement with those rockets. But unfortunately, he did not have the force multiplier to take on the rockets, to take on the APCs, I should say. He went for hammerheads, which was questionable since bike-RUsh+ownz massed so many bikes, and Tibcore really saved him in a lot of scenarios in that game. I have to criticize Unleashed's continued use of the Marv. He would not stop going for his Marv. Really, he should have transitioned much better during that game. So by the resources we can tell that Unleashed UA had a very clear advantage after the 13-minute mark, when bike-RUsh+ownz was just tugging behind, trying to get some resources, although he constantly got flanked by the Marv and the couple units supporting it. That Marv just caused so much havoc to his bases and so many times, but well done for bike-RUsh+ownz in using the EMP buggies to disable it on numerous occasions. That's very well played. The resources overall, Unleashed UA had a distinct advantage, and bike-RUsh+ownz, in my opinion, was really lucky to win that game, thanks to the errors that Unleashed made. As you can see, our favourite unit for bike-RUsh+ownz is the Militant Rocket Squad, and Unleashed UA's favourite unit was the Rifleman Squad. 673 units killed for Unleashed UA, and 225 for bike-RUsh+ownz. Kill to death ratio 0.33 for bike-RUsh, and 2.56 for Unleashed UA. So yeah, that was a pretty fantastic game. Despite the noticeable flaws in it, which every game does have. I can't really argue, but sometimes it's fairly frustrating to see some things like that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. This is Masterleaf. If you liked the video, then please don't forget to like it, and yeah, peace out.